All right, here we go. So, this is the Detox Your Heart Masterclass. This is all about how to heal, release, and reset. So, this could be right after a breakup that you're looking at this, or coming out of a toxic, unhealthy relationship. If you're new to me, my name is Sabrina Irene. I am a relational trauma recovery coach, and I work with women on healing from toxic relationships, healing from relational trauma, whether that's abuse, whether it was a traumatic divorce, betrayal, things of that sort. So I help women to heal from unhealthy and toxic relationships and to break the toxic relationship cycle once and for all. So, here's a little bit more about myself. I am a mental health professional as well as relational trauma recovery coach. I am a master social worker. So, a little bit about my story. So, my personal transformation started after I came out of a domestic violent relationship and went through a divorce. So I realized how deeply trauma can impact us and just our ability to love ourselves and connect to others in a healthy way. The experience that I went through definitely fueled my passion for helping women to restore their heart and recover their soul and renew their hope. Because one thing that being in toxic and unhealthy relationships can do, it can make you give up on love, right? So I had that temptation to just say, you know what, um, maybe love isn't for me, right? Maybe, my desire for a healthy relationship is just going to be one that I'm, not going to meet. But I'm also a believer, and I don't believe that that's God's will and purpose for my life, because I believe that God has given me the desire to have a healthy marriage, to have a healthy, loving marriage. I believe that is a desire that came from Him. So that way of thinking, like I'll never, experience true love, was just, not true. It was coming from a place of brokenness. So I'm the founder of Sabrina Irene's Counseling and Coaching Services, and I offer faith-based counseling and coaching using a mind, body, spirit approach to healing, because we are three-part beings, right? And our mind, our bodies, and our spirit all interact with one another each and every day. So while I do incorporate biblical principles into my courses and programs, I welcome clients from all faith backgrounds, and I do ensure a safe and empathetic space for healing. I'm trauma informed as well. So I work with clients day to day that have gone through all types of traumatic experiences. I have a master's degree in social work, as well as a trauma, as well as a certification as a trauma support specialist and professional life coach. So I guide women through processing their past, setting healthy boundaries, and aligning with their true selves. So my mission is simple. Trauma does not define you. You can heal and you can thrive. So again, thank you for, taking the time out of your day to join me for this masterclass and to watch me on the replay. By the end of this masterclass, you will learn how to release the heavy emotions that's been holding you back from moving forward. You will also learn some practical tools to reset your mind, body, and spirit so that you can rebuild your confidence. And you will learn the first steps to reclaiming self-love and cultivating inner peace. So I want you to think about this before Before I get started, I want you to think about this question, and I want you to just take a moment to really think about how your life will be different once your heart is detoxed. Once you heal, how do you see your life being different? What do you see healing doing for you, really? So I want you to, envision what's different. If you no longer carry the pain, if you just no longer felt the clutter in your heart, felt the heavy burden that can come with heartbreak and trauma, right? How will your life be different? So if you have maybe a notebook next to you right now, or if you have your phone next to you, you can, do like a quick note and, write out, take a moment and write out, how will life be different for you once your heart is detoxed? And after you do that, I want you to take a moment and take just one good deep breath. All right. So I want you to breathe in. And the way you get a really good deep breath in is when your stomach actually expands, right? So you breathe in deeply. You should feel your stomach expand, and you breathe out. And the way you breathe out of your mouth as if you are blowing out a candle. So breathe in deeply through your nose. Hold it for a second, and then breathe out through your mouth as if you're blowing out a candle. So I want you to take a moment to just center yourself, ground yourself, and to be here, to be present in this moment. Release the day, release whatever worries you might have, release whatever has been stressing you out, and just be here, be here, be present. Okay. All right. So this class is broken down into 3 modules. So, module 1, we are going to talk about why a heart detox is necessary. Module 2, we are going to be talking about 3 ways to tell that you actually need a heart detox. And module 3, we will be reviewing the 3-step heart detox framework. All right, just wanted to make sure I am recording this. All right. Module 1, why a heart detox is necessary. I found this quote. This is a quote I use pretty often. Cry, forgive, learn, move on. Your tears water the seeds of your future happiness. And this is by Steve Maraboli. So what is a heart detox exactly? In simple language, right? A heart detox is a clearing out of emotional clutter to make room for self love and peace. And this is the cost of not detoxing: remaining stuck, repeating of unhealthy habits and patterns, a loss of identity and a sense of purpose, difficulty with trusting, and carrying baggage into new relationships. So I have definitely experienced these things. I've had moments where I've felt stuck. I have definitely repeated unhealthy habits and patterns, right? If you find yourself continuously attracting the same person in a different body, right? Losing, feeling as if I didn't know who I was, right? A loss of identity, not feeling like I had a purpose, right? Not feeling like my, purpose really mattered, right? Um, even being in deep, depression, despair, difficulty with trusting, right? As well as carrying baggage into new relationships. So, this is the cost of not detoxing. So, here is another reflection question for you. What's one thing from your past relationship that you still want to release? What is something that you've been carrying? And this may not even be a more recent relationship. It could be the first time you experienced heartbreak. It could be, uh, a relationship that ended years ago that you may still be carrying something from. So I want you to have in mind like one thing that you want to release. Module 2, 3 signs that you need a heart detox. So this is the first sign. You find that you are stuck in the past. You find yourself replaying old memories, the good memories and the painful memories. You may keep questioning yourself, like what went wrong, second guessing your choices, or holding on to the what ifs. Like, what if this would have been different? What if I would have done this differently? What if they will change? What if they'll, get better? Like, so being stuck in the past will only cause you to live in the past, which will mean that your heart and your mind, you're still tied to the relationship. So this is a sign that you need a heart detox if you find yourself ruminating, right? Consistently thinking over and over about conversations, about what could have been different, what should have been different, right? Sign number 2 is you find that you are easily triggered emotionally. You may find that you are having extreme emotional reactions to things that may be small, right? When you're experiencing emotional triggers, everyday things can feel overwhelming to you. You may hear a song on the radio, a social media memory pops up, because Facebook has a good way of reminding you of things that you may have wanted to forget, right? So a social media memory pops up, or even a movie scene that reminds you of you and your ex. And then suddenly you feel that you are pulled back into that painful experience. Triggers are your body and mind's way of showing you that healing is still needed. And if you continue to go on without actually addressing them, they will keep you stuck in the cycle of hurt, right? So triggers are information. Anything that you become triggered by, I want you to even practice pausing and allowing yourself to, feel what you're feeling, right? Because we can't always control what triggers us, but we can make a decision to look at the trigger and check in with ourselves so that we can, identify the cause and, practice like emotional self care in that moment. Sign number 3, you find that you are carrying resentment, guilt, or blame. And this can be self blame or even blaming the other person. So, carrying resentment, guilt, or self blame feels like walking with invisible weights on your heart. You may resent your ex for how they treated you, blame yourself for what you should have done differently, or even feel guilty about moving on. These emotions keep you bound to the past, robbing you of peace and making it hard to open up yourself to healthy love. Releasing these emotions is key to detoxing your heart and reclaiming your freedom. Reflection question: which one of these do you relate to the most? Are you stuck in the past? Are you easily triggered? And are you carrying resentment, guilt, or blame? Take a moment and think about which one, or even if it's all three of them, take a moment to see, reflect on where you are. All right, let's get into module 3. This is my 3-step heart detox framework. Heal, release, and reset. But we're going to go in the order of heal, reset, and release. So, heal. The way that you heal is by, as I mentioned earlier, like taking a moment to acknowledge the pain, right? So often we just try and keep going, right? We try and push past the pain that we're not even making space for us to process. And what it means to process is to allow yourself to feel the feels, right? Acknowledge the pain and allow yourself to face the wounds instead of burying them. Healing starts with giving your heart permission to feel and process. Let me say that part again because that's big. Healing starts with giving your heart permission to feel and process. You have to give yourself permission, right? And I get it. Feeling the pain is not a fun, easy thing to do. But if you are a believer, right, I encourage you in this moment of allowing yourself to feel and process, invite God in. A simple prayer like, God, I welcome you. I welcome you into this healing process. I ask you to help my heart to heal, help my mind to heal, help my body to heal, and, experience the comfort that the Holy Spirit offers us, right? You don't have to, you know, do it alone, especially as a person of faith. You do not have to, be in that pain alone. One thing I love about being a Christian, one thing I love about Jesus is that he doesn't only just tell us what to do, he helps us to do it, right? He made himself a human so that he could feel what we feel. So that has been, big for me, like remembering that I'm not alone in my healing, that Jesus is with me and he has compassion on, what I'm feeling in this moment. So here are a few action steps you can take. Write out emotions or memories that you have been avoiding, right? Those things that every time the thought comes, you're like, nope, right? You push it away. You make yourself busy, right? You overwork. You might be an emotional eater. That's been me, right? You might be doing something else. Whatever you do to numb the pain, avoid the emotions, right? I want you to actually be honest with yourself about what do you avoid remembering. And a journal prompt you can write about is what pain from my past relationship am I still carrying in my heart? Reset. So after healing, after going through that process, and this is all of these comprise healing, right? But I broke it down into these, 3 simple categories to remember. Shift your mindset. Resetting is all about shifting your mindset and reconnecting with your true self. Resetting is about remembering who you are beyond the relationship. This is something you decide to do as many times as you need to. So I'm so big on resetting as you need to reset. This can be done multiple times throughout a day, right? Every day, right? Until you get to a place that you are able to acknowledge, process, and shift your mindset, right? So here are some action steps for how to reset. Affirmation. I'm big on affirmations and declarations, right? So this is an example of an affirmation that you can say out loud. And it's important to say it out loud, right? I wholeheartedly believe that the power of life and death is in your tongue, right? So what you say, you start to believe and you start to see. So this is the affirmation. I am not defined by my past. I am worthy of love, peace, and joy. Even take a moment now to say it. I am not defined by my past. I am worthy of love, peace, and joy. And I encourage you to create a power affirmation or declaration to speak over yourself daily. So, like, just all throughout the day, right? Over and over and over again, right? And it's okay if you don't truly believe it right now, but as you continue to speak it over and over, your belief system will start to align. All right, release. Let go of what no longer serves you so that you can make room for peace, clarity, and new beginnings. Releasing is about truly detaching from the emotional ties that keep you bound to the past. It's not pretending the hurt never happened, but rather choosing not to let it control your present or future. Release is a conscious decision. I will no longer carry what was never meant to define me. So, this is some action steps that you can take to help you to release. So, the letter that you'll never send. This is an exercise where you write a letter to your ex and to yourself, expressing the hurt, anger, or confusion. Say all the things you never got to say. So, you write a letter, right? You write a letter to your ex. And, you like, if you're having like, thoughts about what you should have done or what you could have done, right? The purpose of this letter is to get everything out of your system, to be as honest as possible about how you feel and everything, right? The letter to yourself is for the purpose of like forgiving yourself and offering yourself a moment to express everything that you need to express to yourself as well, right? And the release exercise involves destroying the letter, whether you rip it up, whether you, I heard people say that they found it helpful to write the letter, put the letter in water and watch the words like dissolve, right? There's so many ways to release. You can burn the letter, right? Just things like that. Just the purpose is destroying it. I usually, when I've done letters myself, I just rip them up, right? And this can be for you can really use this exercise for a friend, a family member, just anyone that you feel like you are holding any type of resentment, anger, bitterness towards. And when you do this and you actually take time out to really express everything that you've been holding in, then you will feel a actual release. You may feel a little bit lighter, right? And that's the purpose, to release. And a part of this is forgiving, right? You're releasing the person into the freedom of your forgiveness. And that's something that, I say often, if there's someone that offended me in a way, and just after praying, I'll say, I release them into the freedom of my forgiveness. And this is another like affirmation you can state: I release what no longer serves me. I choose peace, freedom, and healing. And and remember that forgiveness is not about condoning. It's not about saying that, this person is or they were justified or they were right in what they did or how they treated me. It's just about choosing to release them, like release the hurt and everything that came with the offense, right? And here are a few additional tools that you can use as you work through each step: prayer, meditation, journaling, exercising, light eating, fasting, feeling your feelings, listening to positive messages, reading books, educating yourself, right? Attending therapy, getting a coach, attending classes just like this one, and practicing self compassion and learning how to self soothe. So when you are processing your emotions and you're letting yourself feel what you're feeling, right? You can do like something like this. This is like a self soothing practice, right? Just healthy ways to, soothe yourself. So, detoxing your heart is possible for you. And this is your new start. So, I work with, I included here a couple of client testimonies. So, the first one is from Bakima. I worked with her after she came out of an unhealthy relationship, and she's actually from the faith of Islam. So, like I said, I work with all different types of faith. Uh, but she mentioned in her testimonial that what you learn from her will change your life and how you deal with life, being able to cope and move forward no matter the challenge. She mentioned that it's not a one-time lesson, but it's a life lesson. And that's so true and that's so powerful, because once you learn these things, you learn how to process, you learn how to cope, you learn how to you learn really yourself and how, you operate at, if you decided to go deeper and do some more work with me, or either with someone else, or, therapy or coaching, you really start to learn yourself. So, if you happen to get into a relationship and something didn't work out, you're not going to go all the way to rock bottom again, right? You'll learn how to process your feelings so that the feelings aren't so overwhelming for you. This is another testimonial from Antonio. I don't usually work with males, but he did come to me for help. He had just ended a relationship, and he has a really great success story because he is in a healthy, loving marriage. And um, I was just really proud of him for doing the work, because it's not a lot of men that um actually do this work and take it seriously, but he did. So I want to invite you and let you know of a few different ways that you can work with me one on one. I have a 5-week one on one coaching package. The coaching program is called Restored, Recovered, Renewed, and it is a one on one coaching program designed to help women heal from the pain of past relationships, whether it's heartbreak, betrayal, abuse, or toxic patterns. I also have a 12-week one on one coaching package, and this is a coaching program for women who are ready to go deeper in healing and prepare for healthy love. So, and then, as well as right here in the middle, I offer individual sessions at 150. So, this is if you're not fully ready to commit to a weekly um, coaching program, I can I offer individual sessions, and we can, have one-off sessions, and it's tailored to your specific needs. So the price for my 5-week coaching program right now is $997. 12-week is $1997, and one-on-one is $150. But if you are watching this, I am doing a deal. If you were to sign up for one of these um, packages or even an individual session within the next 72 hours. So I am hosting this masterclass. Today is August the 23rd if you're watching this on replay. So you have until, let me pull up my calendar. So I'll give you until the 26th at 12 a.m. The 26th at 12 a.m. to reach out to me. The way that I do is I will have we'll have an initial consultation. So if you're interested in either one of these, we can, get on a 15-minute phone call together, and we can talk about, what you need specifically or how you would like to be supported. And my coaching packages are tailored specifically for you. And yeah, so we can definitely do that. You can visit my website, SabrinaIreneCoachingServices.com, and there's an option for you to schedule your consultation. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can comment in the comment section. You can send me an email. You can send an email to support at Sabrina Irene Coaching Services. I know that's a long name. Support at Sabrina Irene Coaching Services.com, or you can comment below this video. If you follow me on social media, you can also send me a direct message. So thank you. I'm going to stop sharing this. So thank you for joining me for today's masterclass, catching me on the replay. If there is any questions you have, do not hesitate to reach out. I hope that this bless you. I pray and I hope that you will take some of these things and you will start to apply it immediately. And I commend you for even signing up. If you made it this far, I commend you for finishing to the end, right? And thank you again. And I will see you in my next masterclass.